Do you suffer from hemorrhoids? It could be wondering exactly what are hemorrhoids, what do they look like, where do they come from, and when you should see a doctor for them. In this video, I want to answer all those questions, and at the very end of the video, I'll give you the top 3 tips or signs you need to see a doctor about your hemorrhoids. Guys, let's talk about poop. Howdy y'all, Dr. Samir here, aka your poop guru, trying to give you the best tips and tricks to help out with your health. If you haven't already, don't forget to smash that like button, like, share, and subscribe. And if you haven't, don't forget to sign up for my weekly newsletter where you can get great tips, great tricks, just like on this video. Hemorrhoids are such a common problem to have, and it's surprising to me how many people suffer from hemorrhoid issues for their whole life. So hemorrhoids are dilated veins in the rectum. Your rectum has a lot of blood vessels and a lot of nerve fibers that are there, and sometimes through extra pressure, you can develop these dilated veins in your bottom that are actually hemorrhoids. Now, a very common myth from a lot of people is that hemorrhoids don't affect young people, they'll affect older people who have bowel issues or gut issues or things like that. Completely false. The vast majority of people who have hemorrhoid issues are actually young people. Maybe they're healthy, maybe they got pregnant, maybe they're weightlifters. They have some reason or they have dilated veins in their bottom to cause hemorrhoid problems. So who exactly gets hemorrhoids? Basically, it's anyone. The most common reasons people get hemorrhoids are increased pressure in your bottom. So if you're pregnant, I can bet you developed hemorrhoids. If you have constipation, if you push really, really hard, you strain, you lift heavy things, you are a weightlifter, or you do something like sitting down for a long time, these are all big risk factors for developing hemorrhoid problems. So when it comes to hemorrhoids, there's 2 main types. They're the external hemorrhoids. These are the ones that you can see if you tend to look down below. You see kind of a purplish bulging thing from your bottom. That is an external hemorrhoid. Those typically don't cause a lot of symptoms, though they don't look very, very good. But the other most common one are internal hemorrhoids. These are ones that you can't see, but they cause a lot of symptoms: pain, bleeding, itching, pressure, feeling unclean. These are all typical symptoms of internal hemorrhoids. And the problem with internal hemorrhoids is that you can't see them, and so you don't know exactly what is causing the problem, and you don't know exactly if this is something that's worrisome or something that we need further investigation for. So once you've had hemorrhoids, how long do they actually last? So for some people, hemorrhoids may just come and go, maybe a couple of days. But I will tell you, once you've had symptoms from hemorrhoids, it's not a matter of if they'll come back, it's a matter of when. Anybody who's had hemorrhoid issues in the past will always develop hemorrhoid issues in the future. Maybe it'll be a couple of days, maybe it'll be a couple of months, maybe it'll be a couple of years, but I can guarantee you, once you've had hemorrhoid issues, they will come back, which is why we try to nip it in the bud. Yes, my joke, literally in the very beginning, so it doesn't become a recurrent issue. Because the problem becomes, if they get more and more severe and bigger, it really limits what we can do to get those hemorrhoids fixed. So what are options to get rid of hemorrhoids? I'll give you what I recommend as home options and what I do not recommend as home options. So what actually does work? Sitz backs work. These are ways to help soothe your bottom, to help decrease the pressure, and sometimes allowing the hemorrhoids to go back up. Number 2 is witch hazel. Yes, there is some evidence that over-the-counter witch hazel does help out with hemorrhoids to decrease the pressure, decrease the irritation, and decrease the size of those hemorrhoids. Number 3 is psyllium husk. This is a fiber that we use to help soften the stool, make it easier for things to pass through. The more constipated that you are, the harder stools that you have, the more likely you're gonna have hemorrhoid issues. You want to keep your bowel movement soft and having them slide through. Number 4 is aloe vera. So there is some not great evidence that aloe vera will decrease inflammation and make it easier for hemorrhoids. If you decide to use aloe vera, I would use just pure aloe vera only and not in a cream with other ingredients. And then lastly, Epsom salts and glycerin. This actually works fantastic. Here's what you need to do to apply it correctly. Number 1, mix 2 tablespoons of Epsom salt with 2 tablespoons of glycerin. You want to apply that mixture on a gauze pad and pat it to the painful area in your bottom. Leave it on there for at least 15 to 20 minutes. And then you repeat this every 4 to 6 hours until the pain goes away. This actually works. Now I'll tell you what doesn't work. Apple cider vinegar. Oh my goodness, guys, please do not use this on your bottom. It's going to hurt, it's going to sting, and it's not going to work. Also, don't use tea tree oil. There is no evidence it's going to make things better, and there's some evidence it can actually make things worse, so don't even try that. Now that we talked about hemorrhoids and how to treat them, here are 3 signs I recommend to make sure that you see your doctor for if you have these. Number 1, the pain does not get better. For some people, pain in the bottom may not just be hemorrhoids. It could be a sign of something bad going on. Maybe there's a tear in the rectum. Maybe there's a condition called inflammatory bowel disease. It could be a sign of an ulcer, or even, gosh forbid, cancer as well. So if that pain is consistent and it's terrible, don't get that ignored. Number 2, bleeding. Now, I know I mentioned before that bleeding is a symptom of a hemorrhoid, but bleeding can be due to any number of different things. And I will tell you, the most common presentation of a colon disease is bleeding that's assumed to be a hemorrhoid only. Don't ignore bleeding, get that checked, make sure you see a doctor for that. And lastly, if you actually want to get rid of those hemorrhoids, we can do it. It's a very effective, easy, and fast procedure we can use to get rid of hemorrhoids. We use a rubber band, it works great, and my patients are very, very happy with this. These are my tips on what you can do to get your hemorrhoids taken care of, and hopefully you don't have to suffer from this terrible, terrible condition. My question today for you, what questions do you have about hemorrhoid issues? Comment down below. I love to hear what you guys have to say. I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button, like, share, and subscribe. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to a weekly newsletter where you can get great tips just like these hemorrhoid tips every single week. Guys, I hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you guys on a future video.